Hi there, my name is Simi. Welcome to another episode of boun-diaries, where I learn boundaries through my boun-diaries. I'm currently in my pink cowgirl era. I think that I am serving. I think I'm giving the girls exactly what the fuck the girls need. I'm eating and I'm leaving no crumbs.
Hey, Queen. Girl, you have done it again. Constantly raising the bar for us all.
Anyways, today's conversation, we are going to talk about men's insecurities and how that affects women. So, I want to start off by saying that this is not a I hate men train. This is a I hold men accountable while simultaneously being able to sympathize with men. That's what this is. So before you fucking shut the fuck up. The fuck? Like, what's the fucking video? This kind of all came about because I was thinking about kind of my own love life, my own dating life, and I realized that a lot of the dudes, if not all of the dudes I've ever been with, have been very deeply insecure. And because they were very deeply insecure, they were, a lot of them, borderline abusive. I'm not gonna lie, borderline abusive. And I'm not going to validate your fucking actions because I'm traumatized from that. I'm a mentally strong person. So I've gone through what the fuck I've gone through in my experiences with men and still said to myself that, no, I will not have a boyfriend until I am meeting someone who treats me exactly how I should be treated. That takes a lot of fucking balls, balls, man. I've seen abusive relationships, man. I've almost been in abusive relationships. Me, and a lot of times it was kind of like emotional abuse or mental kind of like fucking around with my mental and shit like that, you know what I mean? And they would belittle me, they would treat me like shit, they would give me the bare minimum, they would have me questioning my worth and questioning my own self-esteem. When I took a couple months out to kind of just not associate with men anymore and not really try and date and not really try and do anything and just try and solely focus on myself, I gained a lot of introspection in that time. 110%. I gained so much introspection in that time. But also, getting back out into the dating game, when you've taken that kind of break and have that kind of introspection within yourself, you get back into dating with less of a mindset of validation. Don't get me wrong, I started dating again because I was like, girl, I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard to validate myself on a consistent basis. And that's perfectly fine, man. Some people, people want to be told they're pretty. The fuck? There's nothing wrong with wanting to be told you're pretty or wanting to be told you're handsome. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be complimented. But however, I understood that I only want these compliments because right now I can't give it to myself. I don't know how to give it to myself. And, you know, hopefully getting it from someone else can aid me and help me to feel in myself. That way I can go back to giving it to myself. I hope that makes sense. I don't think that men have a space to be vulnerable at all. I don't think that society actually allows men to be insecure. I think that a lot of times there is this expectation from men to kind of be this big, strong, macho thing, and it's like, that's not healthy. I think the thing for me that makes it easier to relate to the mentality of men, it's not the same exact thing, because here's the thing. Even though men do face a lot of freaking issues and stuff like that in terms of their sense of self and kind of their sense of identity and their own mental state, because again, men are more likely to kill themselves than women. However, though, you can't blame women for why men feel like that, because men, you invented the patriarchy. This is a system that you invented, and you don't benefit from this system that you fucking created. You can't blame women who fall into the ideologies of the system that you created. Was that not the fucking point of the fucking system? It's not the same thing on that front, but however, I can relate it to my experiences as a black woman in the sense of like, the feeling of you have to be strong, you have to kind of hold the world on your shoulders. You're not allowed to you're not kind of given a space to be vulnerable, you know what I mean? You're not kind of allowed to be like, oh no, actually today I don't really feel that good about myself. Or today I kind of just want to stay in bed and just relax because life just isn't always fucking bussing. I'm not gonna lie, life does not be bussing all the fucking time. So on that front, I can understand and I can empathize with men and not feel sorry for men, but sympathize, I think is what I'm trying to say. I can sympathize with men in that kind of regard. The men around me, the men that I've surrounded myself with, These brothers go through a lot, man. They go through a lot, but they don't say jack shit. They don't say jack shit because, once again, men, you are expected to just automatically handle everything. I get it, right? Biologically, yes, women are supposed to be more of the nurturing kind, but that only really comes from the fact that we are the ones with the womb who are literally carrying the child for 9 months. And men are supposed to be the provider, well, quote unquote, provider, because, again, they are more physically stronger. They can actually go out and hunt and stuff like that. On that kind of biological front, I can agree with that. But the thing is, I think the problem is when we, again, the patriarchy has used fucking biology in order to fucking validate why women should be disrespected and stuff like that. And in trying so hard to invalidate women and their experiences, men, you fucked yourself over. Because now you are invalidated and your experiences are invalidated too. I can't blame an individual man for not being able to authentically live as himself in the society that we have nowadays. I can only really speak from a Western perspective, but yes, I can't blame a man individually. But however, if you believe in patriarchal ideas and you support patriarchal knowledge and stuff like that, you can't then turn around and be like, women are the problem and women are the reason I feel like shit. No, the patriarchy is why you feel like shit. A lot of these dudes who end up the fucking Ben Shapiro stands and stuff like that, a lot of them are very deeply insecure and they need a place where they feel like, oh, I'm understood, you know what I mean? Finally, someone sees me and sees my struggles and sees what I'm going through. And rather than looking at that in therapy or going and, you know, surrounding themselves with people who don't belittle them, because there's this culture within men as well that, you know, you have to fucking bust each other's balls. And, you know, don't get me wrong, me, I'll roast you, but I won't roast you to the point of making you feel like, bro, you're a shitty human being. That's not a friendship, man. You know what I mean? Like, friends, you banter with each other, you make fun of each other, but you don't impact each other to the point where you're like, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. You don't belittle each other. That's what I'm saying. Friendship, roasting your friend is one thing, belittling your friend is another thing. And I think the problem in a lot of male friendships, you guys don't roast your friends. You straight up belittle them. You straight up belittle them. And that's normal. And you're supposed to just take it on the fucking chin? That's so stupid to me. And then you turn around and you're like, women are the reason I feel like this. No. The patriarchy is the reason you feel like this. We need to shift the lens from men versus women and shift the lens to us versus patriarchy. Because yes, men invented patriarchy, but however, you still don't benefit from patriarchy. To take it out on women, and it's easy for them to say, you're the problem, she's a gold digger. Like, I've been called a fucking gold digger, I've been called a clout chaser, I've been called fucking God knows whatever, mainly because a man does not see value in himself. So I have to be, you know, looking for value in him in some other monetary way. And it's like, why is it that I as a woman am not allowed to just want you because I want you? You know, not all women are superficial. The thing is, as well, men are also superficial. Men are also superficial too. You're just as superficial. We are all just as superficial as each other. We are so focused on dividing ourselves instead of understanding that we live in a fucking social construct. Yeah, and a lot of this shit that these ideologies and shit like that we're spewing and spitting, it's all fucking made up. It is all fucking made up. Literally, tomorrow, somebody could wake up and be like, I'm gonna create a new belief system. And if you have enough people to believe in that belief system, that will become the norms and values of the society. Social media was not a thing, and then now it's become the normal value of our society. It's all a fucking social construct. We've invented this shit. And I hate how divisive we are in terms of gender. We are so divisive in terms of gender. I see men and women on the biological front. I see the differences. But the thing is, I don't see it as a men are this, women are that, men are this. No, it's just like, bro, my guy, if you're a woman, you are more prone, of course, to have more fucking nurturing shit in you. Because number one, that's how you were socialized. Number two, my guy, you are the caregiver. You are the one who is going to be carrying that thing for 9 months. Your hormones are all over the fucking place. So of course you're going to, you know, be able to tap into a different level of empathy. But the thing is, men are not allowed to tap into that level of empathy because, again, they've been societally fucking, like, taught that it's better to be a fucking sociopath or a fucking psychopath as a man than actually have any feelings. I think men are biologically stronger. Yes, not all men, but yes, overall men are biologically stronger. So, of course, they're going to fall into the kind of provider trait because they were the ones who went out hunting. They were the ones who brought home the bacon. You know what I mean? Bring home the bacon. A bug? But at the same time, I don't expect a man to be anything else but himself. I don't expect you to be a man. I expect you to be a person. You know? And that's me. I can sit there and say that, but society does not give men that space to feel that way about themselves. I'm gonna go a bit class, but I think a lot of this is rooted in a lot of class issues. I think capitalism, classism, all of that, it needs people to be insecure. Capitalism needs you to hate yourself. Because if you don't hate yourself, how are you supposed to buy this product? A lot of people who kind of like find this whole sense of self-discovery and stuff like that, a lot of times you just kind of realize that you don't really need that much to be happy. You don't. You need a bed, you need a roof over your head, and you need food to eat, and you need community. Community is the core thing you need in order to really be happy, in my personal opinion. And the communities that I've seen men form and things like that, it's a lot of male friendships are extremely toxic, but no one ever talks about that because as a man you're just supposed to back it. There is a difference between roasting your friend and belittling your friend. Those are not the same thing. It all just ties back into each other. It does. I would one day be able to meet someone and not feel as though, are you going to be abusive towards me because you fucking hate yourself? That'd be nice. But however, the society has to change. The society does have to change, man. I want this on a more global scale. You know? I surround myself, I'm not gonna lie, I surround myself with a lot of niggas. In terms of friends, in terms of friendships. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of my friends, majority are male. You know what I mean? I have one homegirl who I, like, really, really fuck with. A lot of times with my male friendships and stuff like that, hearing their conversations and hearing how they talk to each other and stuff like that, you really get to see how there's a lot on men's shoulders. They do carry a lot of weight. You may not think they do, and don't get me wrong, men still do benefit primarily from the patriarchy. Remember, you did invent the patriarchy in order for you to benefit from it. But the same patriarchy that you've invented, and you've used science and religious dogma and shit like that in order to validate why, you know, it's right for you to belittle a woman or make a woman feel like she's less than nothing more than her physical body or her physical attributes, is the same fucking thing that makes you guys more likely to kill yourself. As harsh as it sounds, yes. If you're in an abusive relationship, number one, do not fucking excuse it all because he hates himself. Get the fuck out of that shit. Bruh, if emotional abuse goes under wraps so much. Trust me, it does. And when you're in that kind of relationship or in that kind of situation with that person, you never realize that it is emotional abuse until it's like, oh my god, I'm out of it now. And it's like, oh, that was emotional abuse. Yeah, that was emotional abuse. You know what I mean? I don't validate abusers all because you hate yourself. Go and get the fucking help. I get it. Even the ugly and the bad need love too. They do. Trust me. I've been able to love narcissists. I've been able to love abusive people. Like, it's possible to love someone. It's possible to see someone past whatever exterior they choose to present. But doesn't mean that you have to stay with that person. It starts to affect your life. My guy, dip. Please, I'm begging you. Patriarchy does not benefit men. And men need to realize that you're not fighting women, you're fighting the patriarchy. Women aren't the reason for your insecurities, the patriarchy is. If you do feel like you yourself are not good enough, or you feel as though just genuinely you don't like yourself as a human being, seek therapy, seek counseling. You know, reevaluate the surroundings you surrounded yourself with. Reevaluate the people you are around. Do they feed into these insecurities? Do they uplift you and make you feel better about yourself? Or do they belittle you constantly? Change your community. Change your environment, man. The only person you should ever really be strongly loyal to is you. Don't get me wrong. I believe in loyalty. I'm a very loyal person. If you're my friend, I'm going to be loyal to you. If you're someone I'm in a relationship with, I will be loyal to you. but I will not be loyal to you out of the expense of being disloyal to myself. You know what I mean? I will love you, but if loving you does not allow me to love myself, I can love you from a distance very easily. If you're a new person who watched this, you should subscribe. This is a cool place where I talk about social issues and I look hot as fuck every single time I do it. And if you're someone who I already know, we just been talking about it, babes. Goodbye. Go to therapy. Don't be an abuser. And please, if you are a victim, get help. I will leave a bunch of fucking things in the link. So please help yourself. Emotional abuse is real. Okay, bye.